Alright guys, before we get into the video, we're going to be doing a new giveaway.
The D&D Beyond Players Bundle.
In that bundle, we have the Player's Handbook, the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide, Xander's Guide to Everything, and Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. So we're going to have tons of character options.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment down below on the video so you're entered to win a great giveaway coming from us very soon.
Alright guys, on to the video. Alright guys, welcome back to Urge, Jameson, Alex here. Moving on to the subclass series, onto the next subclass, which is the Soulknife Rogue.
Indeed.
So, if you're new to the channel or to the subclass series, what we're going to do is we're going to go through all the abilities gained in this subclass. Then we're going to rate it based on its roleplay value, combat, and overall class synergy based on how the abilities gained in this subclass improve on the base class abilities. So, without any further ado, Alex, take it away.
So, at level 3, like its other rogue subclass counterpart in this book, you get 2 major abilities that this subclass is kind of built around. And start off with the Psionic Power. You get the Psionic Energy Die, which start out as D6s and do scale up, which you then use them as a resource to do multiple things throughout the subclass. Think Bardic Inspiration Die, like base Bard.
Or like a Battle Master.
Or
not a very simple. There's only a couple options.
Right, but very similar concept. They're die that scale up to a D8 at 5, D10 at 11, and even to a D12 at level 17. So at level 3, you get 2 ways to use said die. The Psi Bolstered Knack. If you fail an ability check using a skill or tool from which you have proficiency, you can roll 1 die and add the bonus to the check. Most importantly, you only expend the die if you succeed the roll. So even if you try to use the die and you still fail the roll because you just rolled that poorly, you try to use that, you can just keep the die. It's not expended that way. So it's like you always use it.
It's a money back guarantee.
Pretty much. You also have Psychic Whispers as action. Choose 1 or more creatures. You can see up to a number of creatures equal to your proficiency bonus, so AoEs. And then roll 1 Psionic Energy Die for a number of hours equal to the number rolled. The chosen creatures can speak telepathically with you and you with them. So not with each other, but you with them and them with you. Send or receive a message, no action required. You must be within 1 mile of each other. A creature can't use this telepathy if it can't speak any languages, and a creature can end the telepathic connection anytime, no action required. And you and the creature don't need to speak a common language to understand each other. So if it's one of those things, you've gone to a foreign land,
right, and
you can't understand, you can, you could actually fix that.
Yes.
It's comprehend languages, but
not a simpler version of that.
It's a simple effect anyway.
And also, I want to make sure we mention as well that you do get double the amount.
Yes, sorry, I did leave that out. It's double the amount of your proficiency. In addition, as a bonus action, you can regain 1 expended Psionic Energy Die, but you can't do so until you finish a short or long rest. So you can just get 1 free one back every short or long rest, just as a bonus action.
Yes,
freebie. And then with the Sonic Whispers, the first time you use this power, it's once per long rest. If you don't spend a Sonic Energy Die, use it again, you expend the die. Still at level 3, because we have not got past level 3, is the combat effect from said blades, from said Sonic shenanigans. So, to take the attack action, you can actually just manifest a Psychic Blade, and it has a ranged weapon, finesse and thrown properties, both, which is important because finesse means sneak attack. Has a normal range of 60 feet and no long range. Normally daggers are 20-60. Mm-hmm. So you get the short range is the maximum range you could even try to throw a dagger at all. With disadvantage normally. The blade vanishes immediately after it hits or misses the target and leaves no mark on its target if it deals damage. That's really cool for flavor. After you attack with a blade, you can make a melee or ranged weapon attack with a second Psychic Blade as a bonus action on the same turn, provided your other hand is free to create it. The damage die of this bonus attack is 1d4 instead of 1d6. So the original attack is a d6, the second blade is a d4. Both have the same properties in terms of throwing and being finesse and everything.
Yes,
but just slightly less damage.
And we did look it up because we were curious on the wording on here. It's a little grayish in the clarity. It does say the original attack is 1d6 plus your ability modifier. Yeah. And the second is 1d4. It says 1d4 instead of 1d6, but it still does get that ability modifier.
Yes.
Because this is not 2-weapon fighting.
Correct.
This is an ability on here. So it was clarified a couple of different places I saw where they had said that, yes, it does get the ability modifier because it is part of an ability, not 2-weapon fighting. So that's important as well to keep in mind.
Indeed.
That being said, under level 9, we have Soul Blades. You get extra uses for your psionic energy die. The first is Homing Strikes. If you make an attack roll with Psychic Blades and miss the target, you can roll one psionic energy die and add the number rolled to the attack roll. If this causes the attack to hit, you expend the psionic energy die. So again, it says if it causes it to hit, you expend the die.
Right.
So again, money back guarantee.
Yeah. If you miss, you can keep that die.
You keep it. So it makes them even more useful.
Correct.
Psychic Teleportation is the second option you have. As a bonus action, you manifest one of the Psychic Blades, expend one psionic energy die, and roll it, and throw the blade at an unoccupied space you can see up to a number of feet away equal to 10 times the number rolled.
Indeed.
You then teleport to that place, and the blade vanishes. So you eventually get a D12, so you can teleport up to 120 feet away as a bonus action.
Yep.
Pretty solid. And prevent, again, with teleportations, you do not provoke opportunity attacks. Something to keep in mind.
So that's a get out of jail free, and also a very great chase mechanic.
Yes.
Somebody's trying to get away. He's not going to get away for long.
Right. Then at level 13, we have Psychic Veil. As an action, you can magically become invisible, along with anything you are wearing or carrying for 1 hour or until you dismiss this effect. No action required. This invisibility ends immediately after you deal damage to a creature or you force a creature to make a saving throw. Once you use the feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest unless you expend a psionic energy die to use the feature again. So basically, you just get invisibility. It's pretty solid. It's going to make your stealth that much better.
And finally, at 17, and I like capstones that are actually capstones, Rend Mind. You can sweep your psychic blades directly through a creature's mind. Just pitch a tent right up there. When you use your psychic blades to deal sneak attack damage to a creature, you can force that target to make a wisdom saving throw, and this is important, DC of 8 plus proficiency plus your dexterity modifier, using your primary stat. Thank you. If that save fails, the target is stunned for 1 minute. Stun target can repeat the saving throw end of each its turns, ending the effect on success. Once per day use for this stun, but spend 3 psionic energy die and you can do it again. But the stunned thing does give you automatic advantage on saving throws. Advantage on attacks against the target.
There you go. Got
Boom. Therefore, it is sneak attack.
Yeah, you're going to get your sneak attack.
Automatic, and not to worry about anybody else being near them or having advantage of some other mechanic. It's there. Also, It helps your friends out, especially if you've got any casters in the group doing strength and dexterity-based spells, because they're going to fail those automatically.
Yes. So you can upcast those
fireballs
big
and lightning
spells.
Bolts and other things.
Those are all the abilities gained in Subclass, so we'll move on into the rating portion of the video. First up is the Roleplay Value asterisk, as always. Talking about the Roleplay Value, talking about interacting with the world around you, interacting with NPCs, non-combat scenarios, avoiding combat, basically things outside of the initiative order. Not talking about acting out your class fantasy, history, lore, background. All of that is on you as a player. Can't rate you as a player, but we can rate the abilities gained in this subclass and how they might improve your potential in those role-play scenarios. So, all that being said, there are some interesting things that can be done with the subclass. You have the ability to add extra rolls to your ability checks, which can definitely come into play, and it doesn't expend the die unless the roll succeeds, so there's not really any risk to it if it's a really needed roll that you need to succeed. You also have the Psychic Whispers, where you can telepathically communicate, which can definitely come in handy in different circumstances if you're trying to scout ahead, or as Alex said, you're trying to communicate with something that you have no way to communicate with. Definitely can change some circumstances on there.
Diplomatic
immunity.
Leave it up to the rogue to get through a diplomatic situation.
Yeah, right. And also, teleportation can become a big deal, especially when you can teleport up to 120 feet.
Sure.
You could try to just be like, I'm going to try to get on top of that building over there. Throw a little dagger up there.
He's like, eyeball it. How far up is that? I'm not good at math. Oh, boy.
So that can come into handy as well. And then we also have the ability to just become invisible for an hour, which, why not? I mean, you're a rogue. You might not need it with your stealth, but
you're making sure if nobody's going to know you're there.
They will definitely not see you. So
just don't make a bunch of racket. Nobody's know you're there.
There you go. So all that being said, there's definitely some good RP options on here. So we went with a 4 out of 5 in the roleplay department. So pretty solid.
Indeed. And solid score turns into a solid score as well, for a lot of the same reasons. Sonic Whispers is, that's you can use it in combat because maybe you're trying to communicate and things. Okay, fine. That's small, a little bit there. But starting off really with the blades, because you get ranged sneak attack, and you can bonus action just make another. You don't have to worry about, well, if I throw my dagger, I've only got 2 daggers. If I throw both of them, I have to go run and pick them up so I can throw them again. That's a problem. And again, that's a starting range of 60 feet versus 20, so you're already got some extra range to you're not worried about being in trouble. And if you're not having to get into melee range for your sneak attack, you could just stay out of some damage. You can stay away from stuff a little bit better, right. And you can be one of the weird opportunities. Maybe play a little mid-range dance through the valleys of other engagements going on. Be kind of a fun little way to go through combat. And in fact, that also you do get to keep your modifier damage on that second attack.
Yes.
Does again just help with the floor being higher on your damage turn after turn. Homing strikes is fantastic. I love it because nothing is worse in combat than feel like you not doing anything on your turn because you attempted a control saving spell and they succeed on the saving throw. You're attacking and you miss your attack. And then it's like, all right, well, my turn's over. You got 4 or 5 people in your group, and you have to wait like 7 or 8 minutes to get a turn because everybody else is taking their turn and going through. You're like, okay, you got it planned out. I'm going to do this, and I missed. Okay, turn. Pass turn. So just, again, being able to choose to try to give yourself a chance to hit, to make sure you get that sneak attack off, because if you're not getting that sneak attack damage on your hits, it really hurts. And again, you get the dice back if you still don't get the hit. So you're not worrying about expending them, just trying to get a hit in. Use it, get the hit. Psychic Teleportation also works in combat because it lets you get out of trouble. If you get swarmed up really hard, just like fling the blade, I'm out. It works. Rend Mind, stun for a minute. Never a bad thing to be able to stun a target because it helps you get advantage on that target. Helps your spellcasters make them, because they're failing their saving throws for strength and dex.
Yes.
So also helpful. Went with another 4 out of the possible 5 because again, my description of this subclass as a whole became very high floor, low ceiling. There's nothing like just crazy wild in the abilities in any of these, both combat or really RP wise for that matter. But it just helps you, like both an ability check and in combat, helps you make sure you don't miss your opportunities.
Yes, definitely. And then lastly, the overall class synergy. As Alex was kind of saying, you get lots of decent utility and options, especially with reliable talent bonuses going on to all of those rolls as well. So you're going to be having, especially if it's proficiency rolls, you're getting that reliable talent plus the ability to add on top of it. So your minimum floor rolls are going to be quite high, especially when you have the ability to pump them up even more.
What do you think? Reliable talent of 10 plus a max proficiency of 6. And then if you choose to put a die, which is capped at a D12, an average D12 roll of a 7, you've got a 23 on a skill check, not counting what your D20 roll is.
Right. If it's less than 10. If it's less than 10, you get that.
Yeah.
So, you're going to be rolling pretty high on
skills you have
proficiency with. Have the ability to
yes.
get those clutch important things when you need them. Also, something that can come into play that is interesting is with your attack damage, something to keep in mind as well, I think that's interesting, is with sneak attack, I believe the way sneak attack is worded is you deal extra damage based on the type of damage that was dealt with it. So if you're dealing psychic damage with your finesse weapon, your sneak attack damage should be psychic damage as well, which can be pretty good.
Which is phenomenal.
So psychic, again, very not resisted. That's a weird way to say it.
Very uncommon damage resistance.
Yeah, something like that.
Like that and force are probably the 2 least resisted damage
Something
types.
To keep in mind there. And then again, getting the ability to try again to hit can be very nice, especially when you need to get that sneak attack off. Mm-hmm. You really want to get that hit in because if you miss a turn with sneak attack, it feels really bad.
Yes. This feels so very, very Bard to me mechanically, not flavor-wise, but Bard's like, you failed. Would you like to try again?
Inspire myself.
Exactly what
I can do better.
It's selfish Bard. Yes. I will be better.
And again, of course, teleporting around the battlefield can always be helpful, especially with the rogue trying to get in range of things and stuff like that.
I can imagine like playing it off and like this dude, stole this lady's purse. You're like, oh no, chuck the knife at the wall he's about to get to before he turns a corner. Be like, hi buddy. Just pass him on the teleport. That's going to be fun to play around with for sure.
But all that being said, we went with, surprise, surprise, a 4.
Consistency!
So pretty solid across the board, above average on everything. Nothing super, super crazy.
Nope.
But you are going to be, I would say, pretty reliable.
Yes.
You're a pretty reliable talent.
You will be a very reliable talent.
So, something to keep in mind there. So, very interesting, different flavor-wise for sure on this one.
Indeed.
But before we finish up the video, what does Tasha say about this one, Alice?
Tasha says, I also have the ability to manifest my thoughts into ways that cut people. I call this power words.
Ooh, cutting words.
Cutting words. Told you it felt like Bard to me.
There you go. Perfect. So, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell notifications to know if our new videos are coming out, and so that you'll be entered into the next round of giveaways that we're doing. So, I always love reading through all your comments. So, let us know down below what you want to see from us and everything that you want in the future. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.